Yo, what's going on, Chris K? Welcome back to another episode of that Jay Squatter Crunch Time, the Jay Squatter podcast. If you're new to the podcast, it's a podcast where instead of writing down in a daily journal, I come on here and I preach the word of God throughout all the trials and tribulations that I go through, and so that anybody that needs to hear a message is blessed to be able to hear one of my messages. Today's video, the topic that I had was self-healing, but then as I was setting this all up, another topic that I had was venting. And so yeah, without further ado, this is gonna be a little different than my other podcasts. If you ever saw my very first podcast episode, very first one, this was at Old Crib, where I was just kind of venting in that video. That's kind of what I feel like this one is gonna be more of. To be fair, when I first started my podcast, they were just supposed to be vents. I wasn't close with God at the time, and I didn't think that I had enough wisdom or knowledge to be able to try my best to lead people in different directions. And so I didn't trust myself enough to do that. Nah, the very first episode, the podcast was supposed to be just venting. And so I'm kind of redoing that today. Just because, I don't know, these last few weeks of being very focused, I don't know if any of you guys feel the same way, but when I was living my life and I didn't have much of a purpose, or I didn't lead myself down, or I wasn't moving with intention, I was kind of just going with the flow. When I look back at times like that, only negative things that I see in that point in my life were kind of just anxiety and depression. But other than that, I had a whole lot of fun. Other than that, I wasn't stressed about much just because I was going with the flow. I was kind of doing whatever, people were around me were doing. I was kind of just listening to everybody, moving how they were moving, not truly moving how I wanted to move. But even doing that, it wasn't like I purposely moved against like my morals and stuff like that. It was definitely within my morals, but it was just, it's different than the way I live my life now. But when I look back at times like that, the only negative things that I saw was, well, there's a lot, but the main things that I saw was anxiety and depression. And now I've gone to a point where I'm moving with purpose. Well, I know my purpose and I'm moving with intention, but then I get to points where I'm like, how am I still feeling sad? How am I still feeling incomplete? Why do I still feel like I have so much more to prove? Why do I still feel like I'm not doing enough? Recently, with even just grinding hard with my career, focusing on YouTube, making sure I get these podcasts out weekly, making sure I'm doing things on the side as well, trying to get this and that figured out. For some reason, I still feel incomplete in that I'm not doing enough. And then I get to points where then I'm like, okay, well, I don't have anxiety anymore. I'm not depressed. What if I just gave up now and I just, did what I was doing before? What if I just gave up now and all the purpose things and all the YouTube things and all the career things? What if I just lived life like I used to? What if I just went with the flow? Would that make me happier? I do think about that a lot. And I truly don't have an answer to that. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I'm venting, I don't know if it would make me happier. I know in the long run, I don't believe it would make me happier, which is why I know in one of my episodes I said, I'm trying to work towards the long-term goals and not just the within the year goals or within the 2-year goals. Just because I realize that when I start doing that, I lose track and I lose motivation. But the reason why I'm getting on here and saying that is just because I want to tell y'all this, and I need to start telling myself this, that again, we will never see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know in my journey of connecting with God and spiritual healing and mental health that I didn't think that I was going to be here. I did YouTube. I started this Jay Swagger channel back in 2020, I believe. I stopped making videos in 2022, I'm pretty sure. Either 2022 or 2021. And I left for about a year. Now, if I didn't go on my spiritual journey, if I didn't go on my mental health journey, because me going on my mental health journey had nothing to do with YouTube. I wasn't thinking about doing this channel anymore. I completely, not even gave up, I completely forgot that this channel kind of existed, to be fair. I didn't know that I would be on here preaching God's message. I've had so many great messages within the last like 2-3 weeks of me going crazy on these videos that have truly shown me that this is really my purpose, that people really are listening to what I have to say. And what's blowing my mind is when I started doing this mental health work, or when I started, going on this spiritual journey, getting back on YouTube wasn't even in my mind. And so when I say you never know the light, you can never see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's just one of those many lights that I wasn't able to see at the end of the tunnel on my journey. I had no clue that I was going to be here. I had no clue that I was going to continue doing my YouTube channel, and I had no clue that I was going to be able to guide people. That's just one of the many things of moving with intention and knowing your purpose. And self-healing, I think finding your purpose really helps. I think finding your purpose and finding what you feel you are truly meant to do helps with self-healing. And again, I've said this before, but self-healing isn't just a week thing. It's not just a month thing. It's not just a decade thing. There's going to be so many things that we get thrown at us throughout life that we're going to need to heal from. It's a lifetime thing. I'm blessed with the opportunity to be able to have the struggles I do now. Because me 2 years ago, I was dealing with depression, I was dealing with anxiety, sleep deprivation, I was dealing with so many things. And so now I get to a point where now I'm just like, okay, what struggle do I have? I can be using my time more wisely. I can be focusing more on God. I can be helping out others. The fact that I'm able to have those struggles and not anxiety, depression, sleep deprivation like I did before, I see that as a blessing. I see that as now like, okay, let me work on those struggles, just because I know in life, like I said before, we're gonna get things thrown at us all the time. But if I move with intention and if I move with my purpose, I can get to a point where it's like, okay, I've struggled with this for so long, but I've gotten to a point where I can deal with this struggle a little bit, or I can put this struggle to the side because now I'm getting a curveball somewhere else, so let me put my focus over there. I want to be able, it's gonna sound a little bit random at first, but prayerfully, I want to be able to have a family. I want to be able to get married and have children of my own. And I know that if I'm still dealing with some of the struggles that I have now, that I won't be able to focus on the struggles that I'm gonna have when I am married and when I do have kids. Because I know that a lot of my focus is gonna need to be put on a family. Right now, I'm in a season where I'm planting these little seeds, and I know that once these seeds grow, boy, these seeds is gonna grow. But I have to water these seeds. I have to show these seeds sunlight. I can't get to a point, like I said in the beginning of the video, where I look at that and I'm like, okay, I planted the seed. You know what? Let me walk away from this. It'll hopefully grow someday. Let me go do what I was doing before. I have to stay. I have to be patient, and I have to trust in the process. Trusting in yourself, trusting in God. Again, I don't push religion, but trusting in whatever you truly trust in that you see benefits you helps with self-healing. As soon as we stop trusting, and I'm just going to say this from my experience, is as soon as I stopped trusting people and started trusting myself and God, the more I've healed from so many things. I'm not going to lie to you. And that doesn't mean you can never trust anybody. I'm not a person that looks at somebody as like, you know what, I'm not gonna trust you. I'm gonna even trust me, myself, and I. But it's like, that's just don't put so much trust in other people. Put more trust in yourself than other people. And I know it's hard to trust yourself for sure. And I know, depending on who you are, you might be at a place where you don't feel like you can trust yourself, and that's okay. Because it takes time. I didn't trust myself a year ago to do the things I do now, and now I've trust myself enough to be able to get on here, record videos where I am guiding people. But just last year, if someone told me that I was wise beyond my years, I was like, no, I'm not, bro. You're hyping me up. Don't hype me up too much, because then my head will get big. It's a blessing that I'm able to be able to do this, but I just came to a point where I was able to trust myself, and through slowly not trusting others and through praying to God, asking Him to allow me to see the truth in situations and conversations and the way that I think and my decision making has allowed me to get to a point where I just move a little differently. ain't no issue with moving differently, bro. If you move the way you want to, if you move the way you truly want to move, and it's not hurting others, and you're benefiting from it, and people see you benefiting from it, and people are saying that you're switching up. If people are saying that if those is your homies, if those is your friends, if those even family members that say you're switching up because you're benefiting yourself, whether it's financially, whether it's, health wise, whether you're working out more, whether, spiritually wise, if people are saying you're switching up, then you really just don't need certain people in your life. And to me, I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm realizing that you just don't need certain people in your life, bro. You really don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's 7-8 billion people in this world. I'm only 20 years old now, but with the way that I see social media and with the way that I see YouTube and other people, I feel like I have to have everything right now. And I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I'm 20 years old and I have so much more life to live. And I know a lot of people, because I've had people tell me this, that, you're in your 20s, you should be enjoying your 20s. And it's not that I don't enjoy my 20s, I just don't, I guess, care for other people's opinions as much as I did before, which is why I don't hang out with too many people, which is why I don't go to parties, which is why I don't go to too many, I'm an introvert, so I don't go to too many social events, which is why I'm not gaming as much as I used to, because I realized that in doing that, yes, I do have a lot of fun, but at 30 years old, I know if I work extremely hard in my 20s, I'll then be able to go ahead and go out and, maybe enjoy a drink, you know what I'm saying? Or game as much as I want to. I probably won't when I get to that point, but I would rather have a lot more figured out now than try to figure it out at a later age. Just because, again, I'm young now. There's so much more life. Even at 30, there's so much more life to live. There's no point in making it harder for myself at, let's say, 32 years old with a wife and kids to try to figure stuff out when I can just do it now and enjoy it. That's why I said if you're truly moving how you truly want to move and you're benefiting from it and you're enjoying it and you have people on the side, murmuring and hating on you, you just don't need them in your life. My fault. I didn't even realize that the mic wasn't on, but surrounding yourself with people who share the same interests as you, share the same core desires. It doesn't even have to be religious views either, but that definitely can help. But share the same core desires, share the same drive, helps with self-healing. And I can only speak on my own experiences because I want to be able to have people relate to me in the best way I possibly can. And the only way to do that is just to be honest. And it's not even an unfortunate. Y'all rock with side note, y'all rock with the Donald Duck socks? Shout out my friend for giving me these. I rock with these if y'all, you know what I'm saying? Little Donald Ducks. But my fault. In my life right now, I'm not blessed with a huge group of people that I see shares the same desires, core values, motivation, and drive as myself. And I used to look at that as a bad thing. And I would get mad at, certain people who didn't share those same things as me. And I talked to my therapist and I came to an understanding that it's just one, not my time to be surrounded by those kind of people. But two, it's nobody's fault for not being where I want them to be. How can I look at somebody and I'm like, I want you to be here, so you need to, bro, it's their own life. What do I got going? You know what I'm saying? Who do I look like telling somebody that they gotta be where I want them to be in life? It's like, bro, people take their own steps. I might be taking leaps. He might be taking tippy toes. Bro over here might be taking sprints. Who cares? It's where can we meet at? You know what I'm saying? And I've come to that point where it's like, okay, I might have different this than you. You might have different this than me. But where can we meet at right now? Which has helped me through my self-healing, which I know just seeing it from a different perspective and knowing that, again, like I said, I'm not blessed with the opportunity to be surrounded by a lot of those people, but taking who I have in my life right now and making the best that I can with them has helped me. You know what I'm saying? Has absolutely helped me get to a point where it's like, okay, I can truly appreciate the difference of work ethic, the difference of opinion, the difference of motivation. I could truly appreciate it because it'll help me in the long run, and I know it will. It'll allow me to get to a point where not only do I appreciate them more, but I'll appreciate the people that come into my life that do share the same values, desires, and motivation. Desire, it'll help me appreciate them more. And then I guess lastly, the only thing that I've kind of been thinking about and dealing with is focus and honesty and love, I guess. Like I said in my last video, where self-love is important. How much are you focusing on yourself? How much time are you giving yourself to heal? How much love are you giving yourself to feel loved when other people can't show you that same love? Thankfully, I'm blessed with a puppy, a man's best friend who is always loyal. And so now I've come to a point where I feel and see what that loyalty is. But how can I find that loyalty, not in a bad way, but how can I find that loyalty without him? How can I be loyal to myself? How can I feel I can be a companion if he's not here? In terms of if he just goes to, y'all know Kia, my sister, in terms of if he ever goes to spend the night with Kia, I know the very first time that happened, it felt weird to have nobody to hug. It felt weird to have nobody to pet, But there was a sense of, well, who's loyal to me right now? Who's my companion right now? One, God is always our companion, but if you don't believe in God, you just gotta get to a point where you can, again, see that within yourself, right? Because watching this video, there's nobody next to you. There might be, but there's nobody behind you. There's nobody in front of you. It's only you. A lot more times than not, we're gonna get to a point where it's only us. And when we get to those points, it's really what we do with that is gonna change the trajectory of how we interact with other people as well. I know that, again, when I wasn't loving myself and when I wasn't treating myself like my own companion and when I wasn't showing myself my own loyalty is when I started questioning other people's loyalty. Is when I started questioning, well, does this person really love or care about me, even if they say they do? Just because of how I was dealing with myself separately from everybody else. And so, again, we just gotta love ourselves, bro. We gotta be honest with ourselves, and we gotta focus. We have to focus on, where is our focus? Is our focus more on, again, being better for ourselves, or is our focus more on our phones? Is our focus more on TV? Is our focus more on going to the club? Is our focus more on going to these parties? Where are we at, bro? We've come to a point in life where, or a generation where, bro, I don't even know how to explain it, bro. We just got our morals messed up. We got our morals messed up. It's so, because I was talking to my mom about this, it's so rare to be kind in this world now. To have common courtesy ain't common no more. You got, I don't even want to speak on this, bro, but you got the 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old, I don't know his age, rapping. But you got followers. He got followers. I'm not even mad at bro for rapping. I'm mad at the people following him. I'm mad at the people guiding him. I'm not mad, but it's like, what are we doing? But in a generation where everybody has access to this, everybody got access to phones, everybody got access to dang near drugs. I live in a state, I don't know if it's a state thing or a city thing, but I live in a state where dang near every drug is legal. It's decriminalized. You can walk up to somebody, ask for some, they probably gonna have it on them and give it to you, no matter what the age. They're not gonna ID. But that's just becoming more common, and that's why I said, like, we got our morals fricked up, and we're in a generation where, because of the access to literally everything, it's so hard to focus on what's right, what's wrong, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. But then when we get to a point where someone tells us, you know what, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, maybe you should be on this kind of track, people get offended, bro. People don't like help a lot of the times because they think that, again, the world is against them. They think that if you tell them something against what they're doing now, that you're attacking them, that you don't care about them, that you're just doing it because you're mad at them. And it's a focus thing. What are we focused on? Are we focused on, this person is trying to attack me? Are we loving ourselves enough to know that, okay, maybe
this isn't hate. Maybe it is a little bit of love. Because I was at a point where if someone tried to give me help, you're hating on me. If someone tried to guide me this way, you just don't want me to go that way because you're hating on me. And it all just came back to like, you're just a hater, bro. Like, I'm not trying to listen to you. But in all seriousness, it's again, focus, love. What was the other one? Dang it, I don't remember the other topic. But yeah. Those are some of the things that I've been dealing with. And those are some of the, some topics that I wanted to say just because I wanted to tell y'all that, but I think I needed to hear that as well. I get to a lot of points in my episodes where I have a topic, and before I speak, especially in today, I won't know how it's going to go. And even in today, I enjoyed hearing myself speak. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how to explain it to y'all, but when these cameras turn on, when I get the microphone, it kind of just flows. It just flows out. I don't even know how to explain it. So when I hear it back as I speak, or when I hear it back on video, I think to myself, he do kind of got a good message. His message was kind of cool this time. But I don't know. I want everybody to be as proud in themselves as I am with myself. We don't have it all figured out. We're never going to have it all figured out. Your parents don't have it all figured out. Your teachers don't. Your favorite rapper doesn't. Your favorite influencer doesn't. Your best friend doesn't. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they don't. Your siblings, they don't. We're all just trying to figure it out. And so you should be proud of yourself, whether or not you got everything done this week that you wanted to. Whether you got everything done today that you wanted to. Because guess what? Prayerfully, we will be blessed with another opportunity to go ahead and wake up tomorrow, wake up next week, wake up next month, and continue and carry on. But that's the beautiful thing that God has given us. He's given us free will. We're able to wake up tomorrow and be like, okay, well, I didn't get this finished done. I didn't get this done yesterday. Let me try and do it today. You know what I'm saying? It is different when you have deadlines and stuff like that. But for the things we don't got to put a deadline on ourselves. We don't got to put a deadline on our self-improvement. We don't got to put a deadline on our skills. We don't got to put a deadline on our success. We can definitely put goals, but it don't got to be a deadline. Goals and deadlines are different. If you don't achieve if you don't meet your deadline, you start looking at that as, okay, well, I did bad. But if you don't meet your goal, set it again. Maybe set it even farther so you can work even harder, depending on who you are. But with that being said, I want to thank y'all for watching this video. I'm in the crib again. I didn't have a location to record at, or I couldn't think of one. And I just been feeling kind of down today, so I just didn't really want to go anywhere. But I'm glad I did it here. I'm glad I did it with my buddy. But I want to just say to y'all, I love y'all, and that's truly from like the bottom of my heart. That's from my whole heart. I love y'all. I love every single one of y'all. I pray that we all just can continue doing well. And even, again, like I said, I don't know if I said this in my very first podcast, but I wanted to treat these podcasts like journals within myself, and telling myself that you're doing well and you've done amazing things, and just continue carrying on. You'll never see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you'll look back on times like this after working so hard that you didn't have to anymore, where you'll appreciate times like this. And so, with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching this episode. It's just an event. It's just a little event. And yeah, I want to say that I love each and every one of y'all. And yeah, peace.